In the morning light, I'm chasing dreams, navigating through the office streams. Deadlines looming, emails piling high, wondering if I'm reaching for the sky or just passing by. The world outside, it's a swirling storm, chaos in the streets, a daily norm. But inside my mind, I'm seeking peace, a way to balance, a moment to seize. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. Upon meetings, voices in my head, strategies and plans, where do they lead instead? I take a breath, step back to see the bigger picture, what's meant to be. Coaching sessions, a guiding light, helping me focus, setting things right. With every word, a new perspective gained. In the game of life, it's not about the pain. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. Quiet moments, I find my voice. In the chaos, I make my choice to lead with kindness, to act with care, to be the change, to show I'm aware. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place.
Well, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. Today is Sunday, August 9th, 2026. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday today. Welcome to Careers, Chaos, and Coaching with my wonderful co-host, Melissa Houston. How are you today, Melissa?
Guys, it is so pretty outside. I don't know if you have heard, but Washington's been smoky, and today I'm really excited to say I'm seeing blue skies. Blue skies, clear air. I might go outside today.
I'm so glad to hear. I was worried about you. Like, here, Houston. When we text and we communicate, we're pretty responsive to each other. That's one of the great things about having a good little sister, friend, whatever you want to call her. But, I send her a text and I'm like, hey, how you doing? How are the wildfires? Are they affecting you? Because, I'm sitting there Googling how close is Bellingham to the wildfires. And like, oh, they're definitely smoky, but there are no direct fires in Bellingham, but there's a lot of smoke. So I'm like, how you doing with it? Because I know it can get scary and this and that. Crickets, you all. Complete crickets.
Okay, so to be fair, wait, hold on. Pin this for 2 seconds. Hold on. Wait.
I'm telling the story here.
I keep my phone on silent, though, to be fair.
Hold on. And so then I wait like a few hours, and I'm like, hey, give me a text back to let me know you're okay, because I just want to make sure that you're okay, because you haven't responded. The next morning, you all, I get, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm okay. So go ahead.
I'm fine. Listen, no, it has been a chaotic week for me. I'm not going to lie, guys. This week was my mom's anniversary of passing. It's been 4 years. Plus I had 2 employees out on vacation. Plus another gave notice to start his own business last week. And I kind of blame myself. We were talking about this wonderful idea of a coffee cart, and I told him about my dream of a food truck. And the next day, I had a letter of resignation, and he had purchased a coffee cart with his friend, and they were going to just start. And I was like, okay. So I was down 3 people. I was running the show, but I keep my phone on silent when I'm working because I'm busy. And so I felt so bad when I remembered I had forgotten Felipe. And so I do feel bad. The fires are bad here. They're just not bad with me. I do feel bad for Spokane. They're on the right side of the state and they're getting it really, really heavy. That said, there was a guy who claimed responsibility for like 25 plus fires. And so this guy has been in trouble for some time and they've been looking for him. So hopefully this is the end of that chaos once they contain the fires. But good morning, guys. Look at all these friends in the comments, Felipe.
I know, it's amazing. And just, my personal thoughts, people like that start fires like that intentionally, I think they should just be dealt with by the justice system. But I have a recommendation. Jails, bars that are on fire the entire time, that would be a cool kind of reminder of what he did, but just a thought. I don't know. But anyway.
That just sounds like a barbecue waiting to happen. I think we should just... I do think, honestly, there's some mental health issues there.
Him, but far enough, close enough that it reminded him.
I'll be honest, if my kids get in trouble because of the stick, I take the stick away. I don't give them an unlimited supply of sticks to bask in. So I don't know.
Overanalyze. Good Lord. All right, listen. Hello.
Good morning, guys.
Thank you for joining us, everyone here. It's so great to see so many people already here early. William Rochelle is up early. I'm not even going to talk to you about what William chatted this morning when I reminded him about the show. Joshua Lee, how are you, my friend? Great to see you. And then, Melissa Houston's in the house. It's so nice to see that.
Oh, hi, Melissa.
And Stephen Ang, it's so wonderful. I love that you're already diving into the topic here. And then we have Chris P, my friend. I know Chris is having a wonderful weekend, you all. He's just, I'm not even going to share why he's having a wonderful weekend. He can share. I just know that he's been very, very happy and he's had wonderful days and he's been by the pool a lot, enjoying company. That's all I'm going to say. And then Jay's in the house. Great to see you, Jay, as well. Meryl Cass, our master communicator and connector. Always appreciate you, my friend. David Pushkin, our radio LinkedIn voice. Always great to see you here. Thank you. I'm sorry, Chief Encouragement Officer is probably a better title for him, but AKA the LinkedIn audio voice. And then we have Christy Williams, the customer service professional who is, when you talk to her, you can see why she belongs to customer service. Like, I would love to have her on my team one day. And then Sean Highland. So thank you all, everyone. Appreciate it. I just saw a comment about Alfred Pennyworth. There's a Batman reference there. I'm not sure why, but listen, you all, I hope everyone's having a great Sunday.
It was a quote. Some men just want to see the world burn. Come on, Felipe.
Oh,
I see you, Chris.
Okay. I didn't see that quote. That's what I was trying to figure out where it was.
It's okay. That's why we're here. We're friends. We're teaming up. We got it. We got it.
Thank you for being my... Y'all ready for this? Thank you for being my Robin.
Oh, gosh. I would be an amazing Robin, but I'm so Batman.
I was going to say, I was waiting for you to argue that point. So.
Honestly, I feel like if I had to play the game, we would have to be Batman and Joker, and we would take turns every Sunday.
Oh, that might be that would be fun. Yeah, because
it's kind of what we do
I'm
here.
Wearing any green Teddy Whiteys or Teddy Greenies like Robin did.
You know what? Listen, I can work that out. I'll be fine. Hand me my cape. I'm in. But you wouldn't when you wear cowboy boots to the hotel job? And you rock a long, crazy 80s hairdo on your YouTube channel that they should be following right now. But guys, I have seen him in some costumes. I've actually used AI to put him in some costumes.
Look, I've worn enough costumes.
I wish he would let me share the horse pasture photo of him. He won't.
No.
He won't. But when I'm bored, AI and I talk about Felipe. Not really. But that would be so much fun.
Well,
okay.
I will say that before we get into the topic that yesterday, my family and I, we decided to do some tubing, and it's been something that my wife always wants to do during the summer whenever we can. So me and the kids and future in-law children came, and we had a great time. We arrived at the parking lot, and it just started pouring down rain, like downpour. I'm like, well, we're already gonna be wet, but this is a little ridiculous. And then finally it lit out, sun came out, and it was a beautiful 3.5 hours down the river. We had a lot of funny moments when people were flipping over, but it was overall a great day. So, and Jason,
That is one of my favorite outside activities, Felipe. I don't know if you know this about me, but I used to own an inner tube because I went so often. It was cheaper to just take my tube 5 times a week.
So I know, and no,
Ah.
I mean, I wish we needed tubes with headrests. We realized those are such the tubes to get. We wanted to get the ones with the headrest so you could lean back a little bit better and not have to create your own makeshift pillow.
You just became from like a
I know,
20-something-year-old
80-year-old man.
partying on the river to
I-
like middle-aged. My back
bite me.
hurts.
No.
Have another
about-
beverage and enjoy your
it's about-
time. Roll up your
Oh,
towel.
shut up. Anyways,
Just lean back.
and
Lean
okay,
back.
well, I was gonna give you a compliment through Jay because Jake said that you are Melissa is our Captain Melissa from MCU.
Hey.
So that's very nice. But I will give credit to Chris. I retract my statement because even though I would not be the original classic Robin costume, Nightwing is my jam. I love Nightwing. Nightwing is the shit, and he is like
Yeah, but he called it. So too
no.
late.
But I definitely I see that. So I agree with you, and I retract my earlier statement. All right, you all. Hello to Mary Kay who joined us. Thank you for joining us here. And if you're wondering what this conversation about is going to be about networking, you all. I promise. So, all right. So listen. Before we get into the topic, let's do some introductions. What do you think, Houston?
I think we should.
All right, go ahead.
Hey guys. I'm Melissa Houston, cultivator of dreams, motivator of human capital. If we're not following each other on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or any of the places I live, you should take care of that. I'm busy. I'm doing a live show. Go follow me on my YouTube channel. Also, just know that I do this show with Felipe bi-weekly on Sundays, but I also have my own show on Saturday, 6 a.m. It's Coffee Chats with Melissa, where we talk together about a topic for a few hours and just really dive in one-on-one, to get going. I also have to tell you guys, this networking thing is a huge facet of my business. I am doing events and consulting with businesses in Bellingham and Whatcom County to help them grow their businesses. And so this really touches my soul because this is a facet. Networking is where we go. So I'm excited about this. If you want to learn about my other services, please go check out the website, documentthenact.com. I believe that is the premise in which all success lies. And I am really excited to get into this topic today, Felipe, the no-nos of networking. And so why don't you tell them who you are and what you're up to? Hopefully they're following us by now, and then we'll get started.
Absolutely. And before I forget, like I said, we are broadcasting live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Substack. So please, by all means, repost this event to your network so that they know that we're going on live and they can benefit from all the information that you're going to hear, especially if it's someone in your life that you think needs to do better networking. So want to make sure you all share that. But before I forget, my name is Felipe Cofino. I am the founder of Cofino Consulting. I'm also the senior human resources business partner at Granicus, which is a great company that does amazing things with very forward on their AI, but being inclusive with their teams and teaching them as they go along in the journey. But in addition to that, I am a LinkedIn top voice, and I am the author of Miranda Mack's children's books, which the next one is coming out of the Backyard Adventures. If you follow my Instagram page, which I need to do a QR code for that, the Instagram page has got cute little animals from the entire book series, sharing jokes, songs of the day, fun things for kids to listen to. I figured now that these books are taking traction, let me go to where the kids actually might be. Even though kids probably don't have their own Instagram page, parents are more likely to show their kids Instagram than LinkedIn. No offense, LinkedIn. And then, of course, if you would do me the honor of following me on YouTube, because that is where I house all the shows that I do. I do, obviously, careers, casting, coaching with the wonderful Melissa Houston. Our entire series is there to check out, as well as Workplace Wellness Hour that I do with Swana Jetty. and Social Saturday Chat that I do with the Social Saturday Chat team, as well as my Future Voices, Future Ready Voices quarterly podcast. So check it out. Support us on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, we'd love for you to subscribe and increase our following so that we can get to that 500 mark one day. That would be nice to be able to monetize some of the stuff that we do out there. All right. With that being said, I think I said everything.
Also, can I just jump in? Did you see what Aaron Gibson posted about our live events? Did you notice the shift in your page? If you guys are following live streamers or are a streamer, you should go to your LinkedIn page and look at your event list. It is pared down exponentially. It has disappeared almost. And so I don't know if it's a glitch. I don't know if it's temporary, but guys,
It's got to be.
this is a vast, stark reminder that they can, if they wanted to, stop housing all of this content. If you want to find it, you got to go to YouTube and follow because YouTube hosts it forever.
Yeah, yeah, my events page is my main page, and when you go to my page, I have it as pinned to the events, and there's nothing there. And then when I clicked on it, it showed all the Social Saturday Chat lives, even the ones I didn't have. So I think somehow because I'm administrator on that page, they're syncing some of our pages and messing things up. So I do think it's a glitch on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, if you're hearing it, please fix the events page for us and make it easier for people to find our events.
And also go follow YouTube just in case, because that's the thing, guys. You never know when it's not going to work. And if you're not following, you're out of luck. And I hate that for people, right? Because glitches happen and you need to have a backup plan for all of your events and plans and what have you. So make sure you're following, not just for us, but for you too, because man, that's frustrating. And make sure you're streaming to multiple platforms and have the backup and save those shows, guys, because you just never know. Okay, let's get into networking mistakes.
Right.
Felipe, I'm so excited to do this.
All right. And well, first of all, I got to say welcome to Leslie Flowers. Stephen Ng, thank you for your message this morning. I appreciate you. And I think we hit everybody else. I want to make sure we didn't miss anybody. All right, y'all. Let's get into the topic. All right. And we are going to invite you all up to share your thoughts on this. But, last show, we talked about networking, and we really shared, I think, some great points and tips for everyone to help them network better. And we had a great conversation, but we didn't dive into the big don'ts. And I think that's one of the things that, and I have two lists here, 2 different 5 lists, one for like the most common ones and the ones that are rare, but can be sometimes the most detrimental, which I thought we could really talk about that, because the common ones, I think we all know, but it's a good reminder. So I wanted to go through those quickly. What are your thoughts, Houston? You okay with that?
Let's do it.
All right. So for any one of you that are starting to go out networking out in person again, or networking online and in person, whatever your stage is, here are a few things that I want you all to think about, because, there's so many common mistakes that we have here, and the most common ones are here. And I want to dive into this and have a conversation with you about this, Houston. So real quick, first one is going there and making it all about you. We all like to talk about ourselves. We get it. But if you go into a networking event with the intention about telling everybody about yourself, you're kind of missing the point, because the point is to go learn about other people when you go there. So don't immediately launch into your, resume, your business, or what you do, what you need. Get to know them, okay? And it goes to number 2, ask before building a relationship. I say this all the time, y'all. Don't go right into the ask when you're reaching out to, a recruiter for a job. Build that relationship. Have them get to know you so that they think about you when there is an opening. But same with networking. Ask about them before building the relationship. You can introduce me. Can you refer me? Can you help me? These are a lot of requests of someone you just met. Just because you saw them talking to somebody that you want to meet, don't make them feel less important. All right. Number 3, and then Melissa's just chomping at the bit right now to comment. Number 3, collecting contacts instead of building connections. Okay. I associate this with LinkedIn. Are you just trying to increase the numbers on your following? Is that your goal, is just to have a high number? or are you truly trying to connect with people? Having 5,000 LinkedIn connections doesn't mean you have 5,000 relationships. Most people might only have 5 out of that 5,000. So think about the missed opportunities about just checking off the box. I got 30 business cards or 30 contacts versus I met 3 fascinating people that I really am looking forward to talking to again tomorrow, which leads into the 4th one, failing to follow up. What's the whole point of you going and spending your time at this entire networking event, building relationships, getting contacts, and then doing nothing with it? It's like buying a TV and never turning it on, or using a smartphone just for phone calls and never any of the other utilities on it. Follow up, make sure that you're reaching out to them, especially if you committed to something. Hey, I'll follow up with you next weekend about that event I mentioned next month. Don't forget about what you've committed to. And then lastly, only networking when you need something. Yeah, you know what? If you want to stay relevant and stay in people's mindset, you got to network not just when you want something. You got to network because of the value of networking and building and maintaining those relationships. So the biggest networking mistake is treating relationships like transactions. Great networking is about building relationships that may create value for both of you tomorrow. So think about that. Houston, go ahead. I know you got some thoughts on this.
Honestly, these are pretty standard. I have some others. And so, yes, we've talked about this. I do got to say, knowing why you're networking for me is the number one problem. People don't have it figured out. They just show up and they're like, well, I'm here, I'm networking. Well, but for why? Right? No offense, but you don't go to college without a goal or an intention or some kind of understanding of what you're trying to obtain while you're there. And I think if I was going to say number one mistake is going in without a plan. What are you doing at this event? Why are you at the event? And if you know those things, these other things become automatic success. Because if you know I want to get to meet Felipe, I know I want his contact info, I know I want to do a show with him in 2 weeks, it's a given I'm going to follow up with him. It's a given I'm going to see how I can connect and what I can do to help. And so I think intentional networking is the first mistake most people make, is they don't have an intention. They just do it. Right? How many of you here today came with an intention? You were going to meet somebody, you were going to follow up with somebody in the comments, you were going to, add your point of view to have new followers because you want to grow because of your content. That's the stuff I want to get into. What do you think, Felipe?
Well, actually, what I was going to say is because I knew that you were going to go right.
I knew you were going to do it. Come on, this is the lead in. Let's go.
No, you ready? I'm going to throw you a curveball. You ready for this? I want you to review and completely unseen y'all the next 5. All right. Are you ready? I want you to review these.
Okay. Do you want to just bullet point what they say and then we'll talk about them?
All right. So the first one is staying in your comfort zone. Second one, judging someone's value too quickly. 3, failure to be a connector. 4, forgetting your reputation arrives before you do. And then 5, which I will definitely chime in on this one, is burning bridges you think you'll never need. All right, Houston, what are your thoughts?
Oh, okay. I love this. Truth is, I was just having a conversation with a client yesterday saying, put down the matches. Just put them down. Get off the bridge. Come here. Come back over this way. I do think sometimes having the matches to burn the bridge is important, but I think there's a whole lot to unwrap there. So I'm going to leave that alone for now. But staying in your comfort circle, guys, I'm a big fan of the overlap. If you're always in your same bubble, what is changing? If you're not moving, what is changing? I can say it's a circle, but I like a bubble because a bubble stays floating in movement. It's never standing still. Judging somebody too quickly. Everybody watches the door. You're waiting for the person you wanted to connect with. You know Steve always comes to this monthly event. You've been waiting for Steve to sign your contract, so you're watching. But every time somebody else comes in, you're assessing, that's not Steve. That could be the first judgment. You're dismissing the person because it's not the one human you want to talk to. That's a flaw. That's a penalty. It could be Steve's brother, cousin, the waitress who serves Steve every day and knows him personally. There's so many ways you can connect. My mother was a great connector as a waitress because she knew the whole town. And so if you wanted to get to know somebody, you could ask Annie because Annie knows that person and she feeds him every day. So they trust her. Right. And so I think there's so much going on here. I think even in the industry, like forgetting the front desk person, right? Whoever's welcoming everybody, they're very overlooked and dismissed often, but they're the ones who can get you right to the CEO. They have permission to walk right in that room and say, somebody's here for you. I want to get into this. What do you think, Felipe? What do you think about my feedback? I want to hear from our friends in the comments too.
No, absolutely. So definitely share your thoughts in the comments. We are going to invite you up here, but you hit so many valid points there. And I hope everyone understands and hears where she's saying, because, even with you in the comfort zone, you gave us advice last time. You're like, look for the wallflower, look for the other person that is uncomfortable and go talk to them and learn about them. And that does two things. One, it helps someone else also struggling, but it starts giving you practice. And I think that's an important thing. But forgetting your reputation arrives before you do. I want to talk about that one a little bit because that's where I think it's important for anyone that is on social media, which Gary Vaynerchuk put out something that social media is dead. Intentional media or intentful media is what is alive. And I gotta say, I kind of agree with him because people aren't as social, the more intentful with their content, whether they're trying to sell something, they're trying to promote something, trying to share something. But if your reputation is bad-mouthing people all the time, or if your reputation is being someone who's always, I don't know, being that naysayer about politics and religion or whatever, and just always talking about those topics that tend to be taboo, understand that is going to be part of your reputation once you go networking. You're like, oh, you're the guy who posted this about the politics, or you're the woman who posted about this in the workplace and trashed your workplace, which leads into the fifth one. Now, we talk about this a lot, and I just want to get your thoughts on this one here because we go back and forth on this sometimes. Burning bridges. I'm all about people protecting their boundaries. I'm all about people protecting their space. But I always say, and this applies in the workplace also, and looking for jobs in business, I say close the bridge. Because if you burn it, you're not going to be able to use it later on. And I'm sorry, I've learned it through life that I may not appreciate where you are in your journey right now, and I don't want that in my circle. But I still respect you for doing what you're trying to do, even though I may not agree with it. And I'm not going to burn that bridge in case later on you come back around or I come around and we're on the same page. Or maybe maybe it's someone that you love. But again, my thing is that you can close the door and lock it to protect yourself. I'm all about protecting yourself. But also, just because somebody said something that upset you at a networking event, don't just react and knee-jerk react. Think about how you want to be seen and how you handle situations when you're attacked. And I want you to realize that sends a message. Hey, you know what? There was this little hiccup thing, but he handled himself or she handled herself so well. All right, go ahead, Houston.
Okay, I think yes and no. I'm going to be honest. This isn't necessarily networking, but I have fired employers and then gone back to work for them. I quit. You're not being a good employer. Here's all the reasons I'm leaving during my exit interview. Thanks. Have a nice day. And then they come back and say, hey, let's start a new business. I'm all better now. Okay, let's do it. That second time, I burned the F out of that bridge. Why? Because I'm not coming back. You need to understand you've done it now. But the other side of this, guys, is hold on. Wait, let me say this. Sometimes you burn bridges so you don't cross back. And it's a personal decision. I burned the bridge with welfare and housing and all the government assistance I had when I was 20 something and a single mom. I left no notice from housing because if I gave them notice, they'd let me come back one day. So I just walked out of the program. I didn't even tell them I left. The reason I burned that bridge is because I couldn't have the safety net to go back. So be intentional about the burning. The other thing I will say is even if you burn a bridge, maybe I fight with Felipe. Maybe I call him the next day and apologize. And we build a bridge that can never burn again, and we do it out of steel. Be willing to recover. That's the other thing. A lot of people have one experience and give up because they didn't do it right. Be willing to fix the mistakes. Felipe?
So, and I was going to ask you how you burnt the bridge. Really briefly, when the second time, what was it specifically that you did to burn the bridge?
With the
Job.
employer? Oh, I gave him 24 hours notice and then I left the state.
Okay, so that is a little bit. So
Yeah.
you did burn it, yes. But no, because my point is that sometimes burning the bridge is like walking off the job and flipping them off as you walk out of the workplace, and that's I don't.
Well, he definitely got flipped off by my eyebrow. Let's be serious. We know it's Melissa Houston, so he got the
We
Houston.
didn't do a show just about eyebrows, but besides that,
Okay.
here's my thing. And you're talking about the welfare. I respect that because that's not a relationship networking example. So I think in that situation, I understand your point there. But in the networking bridge, here's the thing. I have fired many people, unfortunately, in my 30 years career. I've also had a number of people quit and resign on me. I cannot even count how many times I've run into those people. I won't even tell you about the applicants.
Sure.
The applicants, I had an applicant I rejected next day or next week. I was at the gas station getting gas and I'm paying for stuff. And he looked at me, he's like, "You didn't hire me." I'm like, "Man, I'm just trying to get my gas and gum. Can I please get that? I'm sorry." But besides that, here's the thing. When you run into those people again, you might need them. They might be the recruiter that is interviewing you. They might be the person. And hold on. Here's my thing. I was in HR. I've learned a lot. And I mentioned that terminations I did a lot. I got a superfluous award for being the best terminator, which I did not want that award. I think that was almost insulting. And they're like, "No, you have to understand. We're used to seeing people screaming, yelling, throwing stuff when they walk out of here, writing horrible reviews on Glass Review about the company and us. Whenever you do it, people are walking out with their head up high. They feel like they have some integrity. They are not screaming, yelling. They're shaking your hand goodbye, saying thank you. There's something that you do. Now, the reason why is because I learned in HR, I don't need to be an ass to be stern or reinforce that bridge. I've learned how to lock that door and say, you know what? I'm not going to waste my time rebuilding a bridge when the foundation's already there. So I'm going to lock the door, and you don't have any key or access or doorbell. It's up.
I get what you're saying.
No,
I get what you're saying.
No, you're not going to interrupt me now. Let me finish this thought here because I want to finish. And so the point is that when I'm ready to unlock that door, like somebody that was an alcoholic, raging, horrible alcoholic, come back into my life because they got their stuff act better. Yes. Or having someone that was a young, stupid employee who made bad mistakes come back as a mature professional adult that's got their act together, or a manager who got treated the way he was treating other people and realized I was horrible and I've changed my ways. So I've experienced all three of those examples. Those were all very real examples. And that's what I want to share with all of you all is it's not one of those things. All right. I apologize for being abrupt with you, Houston. I just wanted to finish.
Right. And what I want to say really quickly is I've also had to fire and hire. I have my former employees at my bike nights hugging me and writing notes in my dirty car. It was very dusty, but it said, "Melissa's awesome." I fired them, terminated. Get out of my store. You can't come back. And it wasn't necessarily that delivery, but there's ways to do it for sure. There's also people who have criminal records, people who have offended in a physical way. There are employers who are not okay. There are networking events where women get hit on constantly. And it's okay to say no, thank you, and never welcome them back. And so I think there's a space and a place for everything. And our personal experiences are our personal experiences. But be the bubble. Get out of your comfort zone, but don't go into uncomfortable zones if it's so uncomfortable that you're physically not safe, emotionally not safe. If somebody's in their addiction, you're not going to be able to network through that. That's something you're going to have to set boundaries on. And so knowing where your intention lies, if you're there in an AA meeting networking, it's a completely different conversation about alcoholism than if you're at the chamber and you see Steve, who David wants to meet, who's hypothetical, just in the corner, constantly drinking, right? You don't want to be around him after maybe the first 45 minutes of the event. So be intentional with your time. Meet him early. Get out before he's done drinking. Those little things, guys, that's the stuff. Humans are humans. We're never going to be able to navigate the negative all the way. It's going to arrive. I know, because I did background checks for a decade. People make mistakes. So how do you repair it? Some bridges should just be shut down. They're rickety. They were built 100 years ago. They had a great concept in mind, but we don't do that anymore. We have something bigger, better over here with much more room for other people. It's no longer a single lane bridge. It's 4 lanes and it's concrete. And so how do you build it, Felipe? What is that networking advice you would give to make sure that it's not a wooden rickety bridge that can burn down in a second's notice, but something more substantial?
No, and again, I want to make sure that everyone understands, because I don't want, and both Melissa and I are saying the same thing. Obviously, we're doing what we always do. We just have different ways of getting there. But I want to make sure that everyone understands me. I'm really talking about professional networking. Please know I'm not applying this to your personal life, y'all. If you had someone that physically was abusing you, burn the shit out of that freaking bridge.
I had a man reach in and touch my chest at a networking event.
Okay, yeah. There's boundaries though where you have to burn that bridge when it's violating your safety, personal space like that. I'm talking about more professional mistakes versus catastrophic. You could be arrested mistakes.
And remember, you can be arrested for touching networking friends without permission. So,
that's
no,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get into those kind of examples.
Yeah.
I want these to be more of the mistakes that we make that we don't realize there's a ripple effect. I am putting the comments. I'm putting the link in the comments to come up, because we got about 20 minutes left, and we'd love to hear some of your all's questions, your experiences maybe.
And then I have a question for you, because this is the biggest networking mistake. And obviously touching somebody else's bubble without permission is a huge one. But I've seen new networking friends, the first time they're at an event, maybe it's the first time the company's got an open bar, and they overindulge. They don't eat their dinner. They have too many drinks. All of a sudden, it's a different conversation.
Sorry.
Don't be yelling that out at networking events either. That's another faux pas right there. But
if it was my friend, I'm like, you're being a dumbass.
Oh, for sure. I would pull Felipe to the side and say, dude, go sit in the car, have some water, eat this protein bar, come back in 30 minutes. But I might go with him, right? And just have the conversation and maybe not make it so punishment focused. But do you guys have rules for yourself? That's a really good question. Like, what is your limit, Felipe? When you go to a business networking event, do you know, hey, I'm doing 2 drinks max, maybe 1 before dinner, 1 after dinner? Is it, I'm going to drink until I feel like, okay, I know where I am? Or there's others who don't indulge at all when they're in networking events.
If you are somebody who knows that when you indulge, you don't say the right things, or you become very quiet, or it isn't beneficial, then don't do it. But for me, I think it loosens people up, gets people to relax, be a little more open. But to your point, what's your limit? Mine is 2. I don't do more than 2 unless it's a party and they're like, hey, we're going to have dancing, we're going to have karaoke, have fun, we're celebrating. Okay, fine. But most 99% of the times, that's not the case. So have 2 drinks as your maximum, because you don't want to be, and here's why I always tell all my new trainees, like in the management or new promoting managers, when we go out for an outing or we go out to celebrate something at a bar, I said, listen, the best advice I can give you is enjoy yourself, be responsible. Just don't be the drunkest one there, because that's who they're going to talk about all day long tomorrow.
Well, and the other thing is leaders, guys, can I just say, if you're going to do an open bar and you're encouraging your team to drink, I had an employer who was like, here, take a shot, here, try this whiskey here. And it was fun, right? To have your boss say, here, drink with me, do this. The thing that I was aware of as somebody who was steeped in criminal background screening was that we're all driving home tonight. There is no Uber being offered. We are at this private residence of our employer who doesn't have to leave, and we're getting poured drinks. And my thought was, what happens tomorrow if I get pulled over on the way home? Now, I wasn't going to drink to that extent at all, and I made sure I had my limit and I was good to go because I didn't want to get in trouble. But as the leadership in that room, as a person hosting the event, what are you telling your team if you're doing shot after shot with them and then knowing that they're going to have to drive next? I think plan, right? Because if you set your team up for failure, are you firing them when they get arrested tonight? What is the mindset behind that as a leader? You know, I think about my Ripple. And so I think if you're hosting networking events, let's not set people up to fail either. Let's make sure we're having that reminder of, hey, guys, I can come pick you up in the morning. You want to leave your car? I can drop you off. Or do you want to get an Uber and I'll bring you back? You know, having that kind of added value, I think, is important.
Felipe? All right, we have two people in the green room, but before I bring them up, I just want to say hello to King Property Dealer, who's joined us, and Stanley Green, who's joined us, and I think there was somebody else, and I apologize if I missed you, but people are making some interesting comments here, and I appreciate what everyone's sharing here, because there is a lot to be said. Now, ironically, people are laughing about the Terminator, so I'm waiting for there to be an AI image of me as a Terminator come up from Houston, but...
I was thinking about it. I was like, I could so do that. And then I was like, no, he's not even that cool unless I get to be the second Terminator. I want to be liquid metal.
Okay, I'm going to mute you for that comment. Damn. But I will say this. I don't take terminations lightly. That's the other thing. When I terminate people, they know when they walk in my office, they're like, I know, you told me if this happened again that I'd lose my job and I did it again. I'm sorry. What do I need to sign? That's how clearly I communicate to them when they're in there the time before. I say, I give them visual. I drop a pen. I go, if you do this again, you're going to lose your job. I don't want you to do this. So please help me out here and make sure that you let us know what we can do to help you not do this mistake again. And when they do it and they know they did it, they don't argue it. So that's why. But anyways, let's get to this here. The only last thing I will say about the tips that we gave is just remember that, again, you don't know when you might run into these people again. And in this world of social media that we're in, people are much, much likely to connect than they were in the past. So
yes. And while you're getting ready to say hi, I got to tell you guys, I did this networking event. I've lived in Bellingham for 3 years. I moved about my day. I noticed motorcycle people because that's who I was serving outside. Do this networking event, and now everywhere I go, people wave at me. I'm getting honked at, and I'm like, who's honking? And I give them this face, and then it's the guy who I just listened to give a presentation at our last event. And I realized you just never know how close these people really are. You pass them every day. They're on the same baseball teams. Sliced owner is on the same team as this guy, and now they're seeing each other every Saturday, and they have been. They just didn't realize who they were until now. And so it's so exciting. But remember that there is a ripple and it's going to continue to follow you. Okay.
All right. So we have our first guest up here, Joe Perez. Joe, welcome, my friend. I know Joe's my fellow Cubano, even though he lives in Florida. And so it's great to see you. What are your questions, thoughts? Please keep it to 2 to 3 minutes if you can so we can get to our next speaker. But what are your thoughts about networking, my friend?
Well, like I've been listening to you guys recently, and I posted it actually in YouTube itself because the old statement still actually applies. We're talking 40, 50 years ago. Business is business. Personal approach outside, even in business and networking, it is about mutual respect. If we don't have mutual respect, why are we there? Just to basically, bust somebody else's personality, character, whatever, and actually just to knock on them, that's not really, for me, healthy, because it could be a two-way street. It's more about actually having the mutual respect in business as well as the connection that's established. It's a relationship, a rapport. Do they know you personally? No. Do they want to? That depends. And it's just really having a professional candor with everybody. Because I mean, heard mentioning about personal touching in that direction, permission that has to be requested. That just shows respect. Because would you want to be touched that way? I don't think so. And if it's, especially if it's inappropriate touching, worst. It shows the poor character or personality of that individual. That's what I gathered from this, because yes, business is business, personal is personal. When you mentioned about the drinking side, self-control is required no matter what, even if it's at a bar or at someone's home.
That was very well said, Joe. And and I love that you brought that up too, because and Chris's comment here about the open bar is a litmus test to my industry. Anyone who shows up at it too many times is usually leaving the meeting without a job. But the industry is irrelevant too, and personal and professional is so important to understand the factors that separate those, but also how the lines can get blurred. But it is very industry specific too. Nonprofit organizations are less likely to go have socializing events with alcohol compared to the hospitality industry, where we had bars in the building already. So like, all right, let's go to happy hour. So I think, but again, it's about knowing your limitations and understanding the difference between that professional and personal, and knowing how to address them separately when needed, and hope that they don't collide. But Houston, what are your thoughts?
I love being known as the shiny card lady. When you get to meet me in person, that is the ripple of our exchange. You're going to remember the energy. You're going to remember my passion and fun. For sure, I'm going to bring that. But I hand over a shiny card, even in a dark room, it's got a little glimmer. And so a year later, when I walk in the room and I'm like, hey, marketing, hey, events, whatever it is, they're like, oh, shiny card lady. It's not threw up on my shoes lady. You see the difference? And that's it. That's really it. When you go to event year after year, if you go to these, I was reading Chris's statement. I was in tech. That's what background screening is. It's all technology and software. And those events, they really do show who's on top and who's not. And control of oneself is the first thing about, business owners look at. How can I trust you when I'm not watching you if you're doing this right in front of me? And so I think it's very important to be intentional and have limits and have rules and understand how that works for you. Felipe, what are you thinking?
Well, if you want to know what I'm really thinking, it was your analogy of the shiny card lady or the throw up in your shoes lady. I'm like,
listen, guys, I talked to the CEO.
Why did it have to be the lady who threw up in your shoes?
I'll tell you why. Because I was talking to the leader of our organization, and they do this event annually where they open the bar and they give you $80 shots of Patron and all, or tequila and all these things. And I'm listening to this, and the leader of our organization says, yeah, I had a guy throw up on my shoes. And it wasn't until the next day when he came back and apologized that I realized, oh, you're the reason my shoes stink. It stuck with me. That story will never leave my brain. And I wasn't even at the event.
Melissa?
This is recent. This is within the last 12 months.
Oh no, I was hoping you'd say years. Oh my gosh.
No. And so here's the thing, right? The CEO of a company remembering you as the guy who threw up on his shoes is not really going to be the winning story that takes you to the CEO suite or to the C-suite. It's not going to happen. You're not invited next time. These shoes are expensive at that level. I got to tell you. But
I understand.
That's the difference, right? And it's a vast difference, but both are very true.
All right. Well, I think, again, I had to carry my director when I was a recruitment manager back to her house because she was so drunk. That's not a good look for your boss. But anyways, all right, we got two of the people on stage. Joe, thank you for a phenomenal share. That was just like a mic drop.
So much.
It really
got it, that mic drop on YouTube. Thanks, Melissa.
All right. Well,
I have another one I can give, but there'll be another show down the road.
All right. Well, I'm going to carefully put you back in the green room.
No worries.
All right.
Thanks.
See you soon. And I'm going to bring in our friend Bill Rochelle. Bill, thank you for joining us. What are your thoughts on networking? You got 2 to 3 minutes. Over to you, my friend.
Good morning, Felipe, Melissa. So I want to talk about networking, but really quick. I learned in my 20s. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks here.
I learned in my 20s. I was at Teleflora and we had this big party and I got super drunk and I tore my shirt off. And that was the first time someone I recognized that you're still at work even when you're at a party. And it went with the song. And I was young, and so I've carried that with me forever because I did it. And I understood when I got back to work that it was a mistake. So I'll never do that again. The other thing is I've also done travel. I've also did all the corporate parties for the company. So I always had cab vouchers. Sorry guys, this is before Uber, for anyone that went to one of our parties so that they can get home safely so the company wouldn't be liable. But my question about networking, I recently went to a town hall and I stood up and I spoke at it. So when they asked people if they had questions, I spoke. But I'm an introvert, Melissa. So after I spoke, I don't know why I can get up and I can speak in front of a crowd. People came to me and said, "Great question. Love your outfit." Even in the restroom, a guy was like, "Let me give you my card." I'm like, "This is a weird place to be giving me your card." But I left. Like, I didn't know what to do with myself by myself.
Okay. You said my name, so here I come. It's okay. This is a thing you guys have to learn as you go and assess how your body works. If you just expelled a ton of energy, it probably took a lot to get up there. You were rattled inside. You got your voice to work. You got it out. You're trying to leave, and people are like, good job, good job, good job. You're still trying to leave the whole time, if I know, Bill. You are so
Yeah,
grateful for their feedback, but get out of my way. I gotta go. You're holding me back.
but why couldn't I network? That's what's so weird
Because you
about it.
probably needed to go outside, take a few breaths of air, give yourself kudos for what you just accomplished, recenter, and then go re-engage. It's very often where I can walk into an event, and I like to go first because I get anxious in events. Even though I'm an extrovert in person, I am an introvert in my soul.
Right.
And so I do the same. I have to come and go. I will go outside of a networking event after the first half an hour or so, get some fresh air, smile at the people coming in, maybe take some of those in as my first hellos, and then go back in. And Felipe, I would love to hear your feedback on this as well. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think two things or three things, or really two things. One, there's something that happens in our brains for certain people, and it happened to me too, Bill, is that when I go and present, I go into this mode and I get all these wonderful compliments afterwards. But the most common compliment I get is, you slow down and you speak so eloquently and slowly and articulate so well. But when one on one, you speak so damn fast, it's hard to understand you sometimes. And I know you all have heard me here on LinkedIn, but it's one of those things where I go into that mode and I'm just in presentation mode. And I think that's what happened to you is you go into presentation mode, but then one on one, you go back to you start getting in your head. You're not thinking about what to say. You're actually trying to respond to other people's things in the moment. And we get in our heads about it sometimes. And I think that's just, and that's why I start speaking fast. And I always tell people, tell me to slow down. But the other thing also is that I want to highlight the fact that you got up there and spoke. Someone mentioned something about karaoke in the chat. When you go to these events, you want to socialize. Going up there and singing shows you got bravery. No one expects there to be a professional singer in karaoke. When someone gets up there and sounds professional, I'm like, well, damn, we didn't know they could sing unless they're cocky and always singing in the office. But for the most part, it just shows you have personality. Ripping off the shirt was a little bit much. I agree. But
Yeah. But again, 22, like
yeah, well,
dumb, dumb, and first time at that level.
yeah, and my last point is this, and I'll share this, and we have one more person, Stephen, in the green room. But when I was in my upper 20s, I had just become director, and I did wonderful things where they brought people together, all the directors together once a year for an HR conference. And we were very fortunate to go to another hotel, usually in a nice area. And we were in Vegas this year. We're doing the conference, and they decided to do live band karaoke, which was pretty cool, right? And our leaders, the two corporate head leaders of HR for the company, came up and did a Guns N' Roses song. They knocked it out of the park, and they had a bottle of tequila just for show, right? And they drank out of it. And I was in the front row of everyone watching, and the guy knew I liked tequila. Like, hey, here, Felipe, have a shot. Every person after that they got on stage said, "Here, Felipe, take a shot." And so I'm taking shots like after every act, right? I know that I had tolerance for tequila. If it had been anything else, I would have been on the floor. I knew myself well enough to know that I could handle that. If I hadn't, I would have been probably in trouble. But the funny part was that the next morning, 80 people of directors around the world made bets on how late I was going to be, except for one table, the DC table, my friends who knew me. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, we'll bet you. We think he'll be on time." Like, "Oh, you're crazy. I showed up 5 minutes early." And they're all like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Oh, they didn't tell you I don't get hangovers and tequila is my drink of choice." And they're like, "Damn." So they all made a lot of money. My point is that know yourself well enough to know what to do so that you don't get in trouble. And if your friends make a little money off of you in the meantime, they knew you well. So, all right. Well, Bill,
I would say also bring a friend because your own advice starts getting really wonky. And not you specifically, Felipe, but Melissa has a tolerance too. But 6 shots in, I'm probably going to
Yeah.
tolerate a little bit more in my
That's
life. So I need
important.
a friend to slow me down.
One of my
Yep.
DC friends was behind me, and the corporate guy who started the whole tequila thing went to her, and she's like, "Is he gonna be okay?" And he looked at her, he's like, "I know him, he's okay, but I'm watching him to make sure."
Good.
And
Yeah.
she had my back the whole time, and that was awesome. All right, Bill, thank you so much for joining us up here.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Bye,
you.
guys.
Have a good night, and we'll move carefully. Don't trip when I move you here.
Day, not night. It's not nighttime.
Uh-oh. All right,
Have a good
here we go. Now we're bringing Stephen Ang. Stephen, it's so wonderful to see you. How are you, my friend? Thank you for joining us. What are your thoughts about this topic?
Hey everyone, I'm doing great. So, I want to share a really quick story about my first exposure to networking. And this goes all the way back to my college days, my undergrad. So, it was my second year of my undergrad, and I see an opening for a networking event. It was hosted by my college's career center to um, to teach students about the importance of networking. And I knew I was going to be very uncomfortable doing it because like it was mostly like students from law, like accounting, medicine, and other professions, professions like along those lines in attendance. I was studying linguistics at the time, which was not a very common major, but it was chose to study it because I didn't know at the time if I wanted to go into academia or public service, what have you. So I was in the minority, and I knew this was going to be challenging, but I did it anyway. And guess what? The worst did happen to me. And this stands out because this event literally highlighted all of the mistakes you pointed out in your slide, Felipe. The biggest one of them being that the participants in the table that I was assigned to had written me off. After they asked me to explain what I was majoring in, um, from their from their "what do you do" questions, blah blah blah. They put me in a position where where I had to tell them what my major was. And from that point on, I saw a shift in their energy. It became flat. They became disinterested, and and it was obvious that they did not want to get to know me any further, even though I had made the effort to be curious about them. So I didn't come away from that event with anything like tangible. But looking back at it now, I'm just really thankful that it happened because it taught me about the mistakes other people make in networking before I could make them myself. So attending this show today is kind of a full circle moment for me. Sometimes in networking, you have to become battle hardened to get good at it. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you, Stephen. That was a mic drop moment that you just shared there, because it shared one of the best lessons that we could wrap up this show with, is learning from mistakes, whether it's your own or others. I'm a youngest out of 5 kids. I got into the least amount of trouble because I did not repeat my brothers and sisters' mistakes. I learned from them. But in a networking events, whether you made the mistake or you saw someone else do it, what are you going to do next time? We can't Monday morning quarterback. We can't worry about the past. We can't change it. What are we going to do next time? Focus on that. Learn from, okay, this person did it right. That person did it wrong. I want to learn from this person. I'm going to try this one technique. And be careful. Don't try to be someone else. If someone had a great opening line that really was easy to introduce yourself with, and you want to borrow that line, great. But don't try to copy their mannerisms, their personality, and everything else along with it. Stephen, you just made my day right now. I think that because that was such a great, wonderful example of the value of networking, and not just taking away context, but taking away lessons learned.
Absolutely. Yeah, this was a prime example of mistake number 2, Felipe, judging someone's value too quickly. And I was on the receiving end of it.
And it doesn't feel good, but it doesn't. But you will never forget it, will you? And I think we all have those moments when we've been in that shoes, Stephen.
Yeah. And this is something I'll never forget.
Houston, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I love learning from others' mistakes. I was not fortunate enough to be the baby. I was the oldest in Arizona. And so I got to be the one making mistakes. But here's what I learned. People forget the mistakes if they're not too big. You can fumble your 30-minute or 30-second pitch. You can stumble over your words. You can forget their name. Say, oh my gosh, hey guy, I know we met at the last event. What was your name again? I know you're in HR. He's like, hey, I'm Felipe. It's cool. I forget names all the time too. I know a few people. Be willing to own it. Be willing to be the fool. Be willing to say, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous to meet all these people. Do you know any of them you can start helping me with? Because I'm new here. Being vulnerable and being honest will take you farther than any kind of production will. The truth is, if you do enough networking events, you're going to forget what you were trying to present at the first one if it wasn't really yourself. The other thing I will say, and it's the biggest faux pas, you want to talk about burning bridges, you want to talk about leaving a bad taste in the mouth, talking about somebody behind their back at a networking event tells everybody you're not to be trusted, you're not very kind. You could be doing anything in that room, and what you're doing is talking about other people in a bad way. One of my favorite things to tell people is I talked about you behind your back to your face. So if I'm with Steven in the corner and I'm talking about, hey, I just met a guy, HR guy, your question is perfect for that HR guy. What is his name? I would go drag Steven over and say, Felipe, we were just talking about you behind your back to your face. This is Steven. He has an HR question. It's such a unique way to say it. It's such an attention grabber. It's so silly that it allows others to be silly. But it's also an integrity statement. I was talking about you and I wanted you to know it. Right. And it's a funny way to play. But think about that, guys. What is that thing that's going to make you memorable? It doesn't have to be you're the smartest in the room. You could be the kindest. You don't have to be the loudest. You could be the quietest. But nobody really ever remembers those people for good reasons. So find your voice, find your volume, find your reason for being there. And I think all the rest will work itself out. Felipe?
I love that tip, because that's something that I think is so important for people to remember, is and change it up. It's play around with it. You don't need to tell people, oh, I'm trying something new. Just do it and see how it worked. I actually took that advice from Melissa, and I finally had gotten my digital business card, the one where you can just tap on someone's phone and they can accept the connection, and it adds all your information to their contacts. But it has my YouTube page, my LinkedIn page, it has my Linktree link. So when I took that to the last two events, I was like, instead of being the guy with the shiny card like Melissa, I was the guy with, oh, check out the guy with the new tech card. Did you see him? It's like, oh, Felipe, do your tech card on this guy's phone. Show him. It was something that they remember me by. So again, next time, after a while, that tech card's not going to be like a wow factor. It might be that maybe I wore a funny tie that I have. I have a few ties that are just unique, or a tie that has a really cool story. I have a tie that I wore at my daughter's wedding that was actually created in my grandfather's store in Cuba. It was a men's clothing store, and it's the only tie that we have left from the store that actually says Casa Cofino on the back of the tie. So, but that's a great story to share with people and be like, oh, that guy who sold that tie from his grandfather's store. It can be anything, like Melissa said. And so you walk in there and say, hey, you may have just gotten promoted. That might be something to talk about. It's like, oh, I'm new here. I just got promoted. I'm here to learn from you all. That's a great opening line. Or maybe you say something like, hey, it's my birthday. And they're like, oh, let's celebrate and do a drink. Let's go out afterwards and socialize. So all these things can really make you memorable. It's just picking what's right at the time, If it's at Christmas and you got leftover ornaments from your employee's holiday party, take them to the networking event, hand them out, All right. With that being said,
I have one more. Guys, you could be the question person. If I could give you any super valuable advice to start and have this, right? And Felipe, I'm going to ask you for your one idea beyond maybe being the tie or the visual. Ask questions. If I walk up to a group of people, Stephen and Felipe and others are around, I give Felipe an opportunity to pitch. If I say, so Felipe, what are you working on? What's your most recent project look like? And he can say, I just wrote a children's book. When you get that open door to speak about the thing you're chomping at the bit to do, because everybody wants to do it, but we don't want to pitch slap. We don't want to force it. So if all you do is say, tell me about yourself. What are you up to? What's your last project? What are you working on right now? Who are you trying to meet while you're here? Ask the question out loud in that group and watch the energy shift. Watch everybody start engaging. It's almost like a feeding frenzy with fish. When you just put a little bit in the water, they all come swimming. I think it's very important to be a conversation starter at a networking event. And the best way to do it is to form it in the form of a question, right? To phrase it in the form of a question. So that's my tip. Felipe, what is yours?
So I'm going to share something that I do when I network and I do in interviews. And it's not a tip I've shared with many people. So this is very rare that I share this. And it's not any kind of like just, amazing find, but it's a question that is so telling. And I ask them, and it's not the opening question. It's not like I was like, hey, I'm Felipe, and I shoot this question at them. It's after I introduce myself and we say hello, and there's that moment where there's that lull. And I'm like, so can I ask a question? And they're like, yeah. I was like, so what accomplishment of yours are you the most proud of? That's it. What accomplishment are they the most proud of? And here's the thing, 30% of the time, they probably say their children, which is an awesome answer. Tell me about your kids. How many kids do you have? How old are they? What are their favorite, interests? It's a great way. And that person's going to remember you because you asked them questions about something that they were passionate about and they felt like they were proud of. It could be my children's book, I may have said. It could be your business. It could be the fact that you had an amazing event at Slice. It might be that Stephen got an award and for literacy. There's so many things that people can share, but when you get them to open up, like Melissa said, about that thing that they're proud of, they're going to remember that you asked about that, and that's going to stick with them because that. And I'm not going to go into the chemistry of the brain and all that about how it works, but when you activate that part of the brain that stimulates them like that, they're going to remember you. So, Stephen, any final thoughts before we kindly move you off stage?
No, not really. Just want to say thank you so much for having me on, guys. This has been wonderful.
Well, we appreciate you, my friends. Thank you for
So
watching.
good to see you.
You too. Bye,
All right,
guys.
bye. Gary, can't move you off stage. All right. Well, Houston, as always, I think this has been a great topic. I'm glad we did part 2 of this because I think it definitely resonated with people at a completely different level. What are your thoughts?
I loved your last tip quite a bit, actually. And I just wanted to say, if you are the conversation starter, guys, that first networking event, it's going to be fun. The second one, people are going to seek you out. If they know that they landed a contract because you were the one who asked Felipe what his biggest project was, or, whatever lately, what are you proud of? If you were that conversation starter, they're going to migrate you conversations they need. It is a natural progression from there. And so I think if you just find your thing, you could be the kind one. You could help people find the drinks when you know they're looking. Be the person who knows where the bathroom is. That's so helpful too. Small, but huge at a conference, right? It's the little things in life. Have extra pens. Have a spare charger. Be willing to just have the conversations. I think there's so much going on there. But thanks for joining us, guys. I'm excited about this show and this conversation. What's next week's topic? Do you guys have an idea for us? We always ask you to fill our coffers in this way so we can talk about what you want to hear.
And I do want to say one more thing. I'm bad about this, but be that connector. We talked about that before about introducing the person to somebody else. I think about it, but I always think about it too late. I'm like, oh damn, I should have introduced him to that person I met earlier. So that's a great way to be memorable too, is a connector. Meryl Cass, Kenneth Dunner, 2 master connectors out there who are always out there trying to bring people together. So that's part of their brand. That's part of who they are. So I encourage you all to do that. But yeah, let us know what topics you like us to tackle. I know it's summertime. People are definitely vacationing. I know that Chris is at the pool, and he's at the pool for multiple reasons. not just because it's sunny, not just because it's a pool.
Listen, this is masterfully creating curiosity in this kitty, because I'm like, what is happening? Well, Chris better do a stinking post. Somebody message him and say, Melissa Houston says send the post once you explain. But I got to say this too. I'm seeing a lot of back to school posts in my friend's timeline. Arizona's already going back. My daughter's not too far away. And so, are you guys back in school yet? I'm asking the audience, where are you in the nation or in the world? And are your kids in school? When do they start? I think it's weird. We're right in that season. It's October, right? AUG-tober. It's the beginning of fall in a lot of ways. Everybody says, don't say that. Well, guess what? I'm saying it because the trees are telling me. I look at the trees and they tell me when they're going to change and what the weather's doing. I think we're going to, what?
Move more south. They won't change.
No. Listen, I moved from the south to the north for this. I intentionally left Arizona. I like this. But here's the thing. The seasons are coming. And I think a lot of what we should remember while the sun is out, go get that tan. Go get in the sunshine. But Felipe, we should maybe talk about preventing the winter blues. I'm like, how are we going to transition into this new season?
Oh, wow. Okay, slow down. You're already doing the holidays and winter. Whoa.
Listen, my birthday's a month away. A month, and September 10th is the day fall starts for me.
Let's talk about it. Your birthday's a month away.
It is.
That's great. I can't wait to celebrate your birthday.
I'm still not going to be as old as you.
That's true. Do you know how old I am?
97.
Yes. Do you know when my birthday is?
No.
Really? You sure?
I really don't.
Are you sure about that? Think about it.
Listen, I can tell you right now, I don't know when half of the people I'm related to's birthday is. I have to think about my own. And when people ask me how old I am, I'm like, well, I was born in 81. So what year is it? And I have to math it.
Well, I'm going to have fun with this, you all. In the chat, please be all me and share if you all know.
Is it today? Because if it's today, then
I missed last week.
Okay. Well, happy birthday last week. Whenever +7 or whatever it is. I don't know. What is it?
It's today, dumbass.
Is it really?
Yes. But
I just asked you, is it today?
Thank you all for making my birthday a fun.
Are you kidding?
Start. I'm being dead serious. But thank you for making my birthday very fun today. I know I've had.
So you're the reason we kick off fall. That's cool. I'm good
No,
with that.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Wait,
no.
hold on. Mental
Do
no.
not
So
associate me. No, my
no, no, no,
wife.
no, no. So this is
Oh,
easy. I'm gonna remember your birthday forever now because it's 4 days after my mom passed, but it's also Omar's birthday. And then you now kick off
wait, I'm sorry. You said almost
October.
the exact same words to me last year. Like, oh, it's gonna remember, easy to
Oh,
remember.
good. Look. So I don't remember saying that. That's how good my memory is. Listen, this is why I document, then act. You don't write it down, I don't care. No, I appreciate it. I'm glad it's your birthday. Why didn't you lead with that, you jerk? You were telling me about a nap.
Because I didn't want to make the show about that. That's not my style.
Oh,
But
what? You guys, it's his birthday. Hello, can you blow up the comments? We're not leaving yet. You don't get away that easy. No, we're taking an extra minute now.
no, that was funny to watch you like figure it out, like in slow motion. Like I was like, I want to see how long it takes her to figure it out. It was like
I said the word birthday, and you're like, wait a minute. And I'm like,
Well,
it's not
no,
today. And
I
you sounded like it was today. And then I'm like, shit, it is today. I'm sorry, I said bad words.
but it was just funny because but no, thank you for
So
the
Felipe, how old are you today?
older than you, Houston. Older than
Well,
you.
we knew that. No, but honestly, first of all, I really do want to
proudly
know.
say I'm in my mid-50s. That's what I can say.
Oh, you're 53?
No, I said mid-50s.
55.
I'll give you the range. Mid-50s implies 54 to 56. I'm not going to tell you which one I am. If you knew how my old,
I'll ask Michelle.
As-
Don't
as
make me do extra work. She'll tell me.
As my friend who I thought liked to, document and then act. I think a great way to document and act would be write it down in your calendar and then act on my actual birthday.
Okay, true story.
I get to
True
give you.
story. Here's the thing. No joke. This is genetic, and this is what I'm not even kidding. So when I was a kid, listen.
Let's talk about
Now
that.
okay, I'm with you. Agreed. I've heard it somewhere before. Now,
Right.
This is what I will say. My grandmother, when it was Christmas, I would always give her a calendar. She had 8 kids, 17 grandkids plus, right? She had all these people in her life. And so I would call everybody and say, what's your birthday? And the first year I did it, it took me forever. I went through every stinking little Rolodex flippy card thing. She had like the index card Rolodex, and I called everybody. And then every year I'd go over, take her calendar and copy it over. And so she loved it. Loved it. I always did it. And now that's what I need for my birthday, Felipe.
I'm getting you a calendar for your birthday. And
you're just going to put your family's birthdays in there. You're going to call our closest friends. You're going to make sure.
Topper's birthday, Felipe's
Meryl
birthday.
Cass has to be on there. Kenny Dunner, because that's the reason we do the show.
Now you're looking for a project.
Hey, Felipe, we might have just had our $1 million idea. We need a LinkedIn birthday calendar, and not by LinkedIn, but by us.
So hold on. So LinkedIn already has that in the platform.
No, I want a website.
However, this would be a big ask, but I'm just saying. I think that the one person that has a lot of our community together as far as events is Leslie Flowers. And so if she could,
I want a tech guy to go in and scrape this for me. I want it to be AI built.
Let me finish my thought. You would just ruin my total idea. I said she could take AI and find a way for AI to tag the people whose birthdays it is who do shows in her chat. So, all right, you stole my thunder, but yes, you had the same thought because we think alike. Go ahead.
No, I would love for a tech guy to build a website, have it have LinkedIn birthdays on there. So anybody who wants to access it will just be able to see anybody who's publicly out on LinkedIn has a birthday there. I think it would be crazy to build, but how cool would it be? And what if we could sort it by country? And what if we could sort it by time zone or the state?
Be very cool.
Like I want to see some tech kid in college use this as their graduation project or something. I don't know.
I want one of our people in our chat to come up with it so that we can boast about the fact that, hey, this was LinkedIn created, LinkedIn community founded, and somebody who was talented created something that
tag them if you know them, tag them if you got them. Felipe, what are you going to do for your birthday?
Well, yesterday we went out and did some tubing, like I said, and the family came over and we had a nice dinner outside. It was a beautiful weather yesterday. It really was, even though it rained right when we got to the tubing. But other than that, I am just going to enjoy a relaxing day with the family. We're not going to do too many activities because we're all a little bit sore from yesterday. But yeah, it's going to be a nice, peaceful, relaxing day. And I don't know. Actually, I don't know if any of the family are coming over today or not, like the kids. They might. I have no idea what's going on. I just know this could be a quiet day. Yesterday was all planned.
I'm doubly mad at you. I just did the math. I called you old when you needed a headrest on your tube, and you didn't even say, yes, it's my birthday. Of course, I'm older. You didn't say anything.
I really didn't want to distract the show because I knew that we would have gone off on a tangent like we just did. And so that's why I really wanted to, I didn't want to say anything. But I wanted, so I'm not lying. I wanted to have some fun with you. So
You're such a
I was
brat.
hoping that no one in the comments said anything. So I wanted to give you a fun little, like, just.
You guys left me hanging. No help at all. No, honestly, that's so funny.
And what's funny even is that Stephen Ang was one of the people that sent me a birthday message in the DMs before he came up. So I thought he was gonna like blow it, and like I was like, oh, okay, good. He didn't say anything.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Okay, so happy birthday. Also, how is your mom?
She's okay. Thank you for asking. So she's home and she's back to her old self, and she's doing good. She's just taking it slower, and she's learned. She fell down again. She's had some balance issues at 94, and she cracked her head open. It was really bad. It was messed up. But thank God that my mom's okay. She went through some PT afterwards. She's home, and her biggest lesson is she doesn't need to bend down to pick up everything on the floor, because that's when she loses balance. And if she does have to bend down, she sits down first, and then she grabs it, and then stands up. So, like, small lessons like that. Again, at 94, you would think, okay, she needs a wheelchair. No, she just needs to learn to slow down. So,
I love that. And also those little grabber things, those litter picker upper, the claws. I have one at work.
She has her claw, but
I love them.
But that's another thing for her to carry with the walker. It's hard to carry. Like, she's
with the walker too, yeah.
Yeah, in the room, she uses it to get things out off the top shelf, the claw, and off the, but walking around the house, like, you're not our housekeeper. You don't need to pick up the house.
Cute. Give her my love. Tell her congratulations on your success and birthday, because moms like to hear it. You don't suck all the time. You can tell her I said so.
Aww.
And then send
so nice
my love to your wife. I don't know how she does it, but she puts up with him. Guys, thanks so much.
Her birthday too. Her birthday was last week, so that was fun.
Well, see, why don't you need to document that and send it in a text message when it's getting close, so I can make sure I say things to people I care about.
I was going to launch the second Brady's book of the Backyard Adventures on her birthday. Then I was going to do it on my birthday, but we've had some formatting challenges, so we're going back and forth with the formatter. I got my draft book, and there were errors, so we had to, so we're having
Give her a foot rub. She doesn't want your book. She wants a foot rub.
Oh, wow.
Just
my birthday.
No, I said what I said.
It's my birthday. I want a foot rub. I already gave her
rub
gift.
Each other's feet. The legs work both directions at the same time.
It's like giving each other a massage.
Weird.
One person wants to be relaxed. One at a time.
Take turns.
All right, this is not what y'all came here for, but I hope you enjoyed.
Yes, they did. They love the chaos part of our show. Okay, guys, tell us what you want us to talk about. But honestly, I think the holidays coming is something we should assess. There's only one quarter left in this year.
Stop pushing.
No, you're getting older. It's your birthday. You know it.
About decorating already outside for Halloween. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Listen, I put up the Nightmare Before Christmas tree for Halloween, and then it stays up till Christmas because we do Nightmare Before Christmas on the tree too.
It's August.
No, it's not.
Put ghouls and goblins.
Stop hating on people's experience. Don't judge. Don't judge.
No, it's just start.
You should start putting Halloween up now instead of trying to kill yourself in 24 hours. You're 95 now. You need to slow down, sir.
Enjoy the
Have
summer.
a nice day.
Enjoy Halloween in chat if you're even listening. I don't know if anyone's even here.
Everybody ran away. No, right. If you're still here, tell us. I want to know who's still.
Yeah, you're still here. So I was just saying, we'll try to end the show. What do you have coming up?
Honestly, I'm really excited about. I got a whole new batch of our books. I got 25 new copies of each, and I'm going to get those out in the city. I have Bike Night coming on Tuesday, which is really great. I'm working with a farm, and that has been a really cool experience. I spent hours out there yesterday just around chicken and horses and dogs and peacock, and it's crazy, but it's fun. I'm going to be back on Saturday with Coffee Chats with Melissa. I definitely want you to make sure you're following my YouTube channel. If LinkedIn is going to be shifting, I know Facebook is deleting their videos quite often too now. It really is the place to go find the old shows. So if you haven't seen Coffee Chats, go watch. Go become a subscriber. I'm trying to get to 50 people. That's my first big pillar, and I'm just a few away. And then make sure you're following Felipe, because he's the guy who hosts this show bi-weekly where we show up and beat up on each other a little bit. Felipe, you were your own pinata for your birthday. Thanks for handing me the stick.
That's the other reason why I waited until the end. I didn't want to get beaten up too much.
I'm waiting for my candy. What kind of candy pops out of Felipe if you hit him hard enough?
Oh, a lot of different kinds, because it depends if I want like the hard candies, if I want the chocolate, if I want the lollipop.
The fact that you're trying to answer and you have multiple answers of what kind of candy pops out of you if we hit you, that is the worst answer. You should have said none. None.
I know, but then
I love it. Happy birthday.
All right, thank you. As far as
what do you got going?
By all means, if you know of anybody that needs HR services, feel free to share my link to Convenient Consulting, HR Advisors, where I offer HR recruiting, training, HR compliance, and auditing. And it's not auditing to get your team in trouble. It's auditing to help your team go from good to great. And like Melissa said, if you would be so kind to follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I do house all the shows that we do here with Melissa in Careers Counseling Coaching, as well as the shows with Sumana Jetty for Workplace Wellness Hour and the Social Saturday chat shows. And yes, you can dig deep and find some cooking videos in there too. Thank God the most recent one, I look normal, but the ones before that,
go find them.
Let's just say COVID hair may have been part of it. And
stop blaming COVID. You loved it.
It totally was.
Did you hear the squeak on his birthday?
Why is my voice cracking? All right. And if you would do me the honor of supporting Miranda Max, and I will get the QR code for it, but if you look up Backyard Adventure Books on Instagram, you're going to see a lot of funny animals, and they're telling dad jokes, because remember, these books are meant for like 3 to 7 year olds. So I wrote them for 3 to 7 year olds, and what better jokes than dad jokes? So check those out, as well as the theme song, Melissa. I created a theme song for Backyard Adventures. I need to work on the graphic a little bit, but the song I think I got down right. So support it if you can, because Brady and Lucky the One-Eyed Cat is coming out. It's like it's there. It's on the shelf. You just can't see it yet, but it's coming. I promise. With that, we will see you all in 2 weeks. Melissa, thank you for being an amazing sister, amazing co-host, amazing friend. And I will send you a calendar on your birthday.
Okay. And I wish you the happiest of birthdays. And I'm glad you came to play, even though it was your birthday. And you didn't even take any glory at the beginning of the show, which is silly. You should totally do it next year. I'm going to remember to yell at you.
I don't want it to detract from this show, because it was an important topic and people got some value from it.
Felipe, your birthday doesn't detract from the show. Your mouth detracts from the show. No, I'm kidding. I had to. With that, we're out.
My heart was warm from the earlier conversation, but she didn't want it to be too warm too long. So
no, I really can't help but give you an elbow on your birthday. You let me sit here not knowing. Yes, so yes, I'm angry. I'm salty.
I know.
No sugar.
It's a little bit of a mean joke. I agree, but I'm sorry I couldn't pass it up. It was too funny.
It's good. And guys, go wish him a happy birthday. Go blow up the show. Like, go tell everybody about it just for him, because really, that's what we really hope for, is that this conversation continues and we get to keep coming back.
And stay tuned for future episodes, because payback is gonna hurt when she pays me back for this one. Trust me. All right. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you soon. Stay safe. And as always, don't forget, be confident in what you know. Be curious about what you don't know. Be grateful for what you have. Be compassionate to yourself. And be tenacious as hell, because you got this. See you soon, all.
Bye.
In the morning light, I'm chasing dreams, navigating through the office streams. Deadlines looming, emails piling high, wondering if I'm reaching for the sky or just passing by. The world outside, it's a swirling storm, chaos in the streets, a daily norm. But inside my mind, I'm seeking peace, a way to balance, a moment to seize. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and up on meetings, voices in my head, strategies and plans, where do they lead instead? I take a breath, step back to see the bigger picture, what's meant to be. Coaching sessions, a guiding light, helping me focus, setting things right. With every word, a new perspective gained. In the game of life, it's not about the pain. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place. In the quiet moments, I find my voice. In the chaos, I make my choice to lead with kindness, to act with care, to be the change, to show I'm aware. Careers, chaos, and coaching too. Finding the path, what else can we do? Observing closely, learning as we go. Making decisions, let our wisdom show. Through the storms and the calm, we'll find our way. With every challenge, we'll learn to say, we've got the strength, we've got the grace to face the world and find our place.